Lord, I ask that you be with all those who are sick this time. So much illness going around right now. I ask that you be with them, help them, guide them in every way, heal them quickly. Lord, I ask that you be especially with the Whitlock family as they're going through such a terrible ordeal. And dear Lord, I thank you for just being around such a wonderful group of people in this county who are so willing to give and contribute and help this family. Lord, I ask that you be with this group of men and women as they go about the county business. Lead them, guide them, direct them in all that they do. In Christ Jesus' name we pray.
Doing the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
appreciate the sheriff's comments about the Whitlocks. The church, they announced that they had over 100 units of blood were donated. Okay, item number 1 is minutes, and I believe we've got 1 set of minutes here. And did you get the first version of it?
I did.
Okay, before they got the. All right. Anybody have any questions or comments about the 1 set of minutes from January the 11th, 2016? Okay, can we have a motion then to accept those minutes as presented?
I'll second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. And that carries. Next up is item number 2, the tax assessor collector's office, and we have discussed, consider replacing part-time employee and waiving advertising for that position. Sandy, how are you today?
I'm good. How are y'all doing? Well, I have one of my long-term ladies that is retired, and so and it hasn't been that long since I had some openings for replacement for part-time, so I was just wondering if I can replace her and not have to advertise since I have so many applications already.
Do we have a motion or any other comments on replacing part-time employee and waiving advertising?
Make the motion. I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to waive advertising. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Sandy.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Item number 3 is discuss and update the CTERS grant projects. Commissioner Raines.
Well, we're got 5 of the 7 complete. We got 2 outstanding, and Commissioner Wilson wants to change his last project to a different road, and he went down there and met with Tanya Shaw with TxDOT, and we've got the paperwork to do, but I wanted to make the court aware of it and make sure everybody's okay before we change the project. And find my cheat sheet, I'll tell you which one it is. He wants to change 247, 248, 249 project, which is the number 6 project on our list, to 252, to his county road 252, and designate all that money that was assigned for those 3, that square, to county road 252. If everybody's with us, $162,728.03 in reimbursements. So
And that's a full reimbursement.
that's full reimbursement. That's what they've actually paid to us on this. But if everybody's okay with that, I can do the paperwork to change that number 6 project to 252, and we'll get it sent in to them today. And Connie can get started on it.
And you said TxDOT was agreeable to that, right?
Yes, he went down and met with them, 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
And got all the paperwork from her that was needed to make the change. And I have it available. I mean, I haven't filled it out, but I've got it. I wouldn't do it until everybody said it was okay.
This is County Road 247 through 249, Project 6.
Yep,
And you're changing it to County Road 252.
correct.
And the 162,728.03 is reimbursed just on this project?
No, that's what they've paid us so far.
Total for the
Total
other
for the other
Okay.
5 projects.
In his precinct or?
Total,
Okay.
countywide.
And I just want to verify that is not a FEMA road,
No.
252. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Were these other 3, were they damaged in the flood? That square that you got? No, sir. Okay. All right, any questions or comments about making a change in Project 6 from C-TERS? Moving it to 250, County Road 252? And we have a motion then to make that change. Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. All right, good deal. Item number 4 is a jury plan. Review and adopt the jury plan for 91st District Court, County Court, and County Clerk and District Clerk. And this was tabled from January the 11th. So can we have a motion to put this item back on the table to discuss today? Motion made, seconded. All in favor, say aye. Okay, and it is approved. And so, let's see, I know Kathy's been working on where are we on this project?
Tessa has been out, so I'm waiting on her to look at it, and then Judge Herod, Russ, we worked on it a little bit last week, and you looked at it, so we're good with it.
Okay.
So if we can table it one more time.
Table it again, all right. Can we have a motion then to once again table item number 4 about the jury plan? Second, motion made and seconded to table item number 4, the jury plan, until a later commission report. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign, and that carries. Linda, would you make sure we get that on as a tabled item? Thank you.
Our profiling law, Senate Bill number 1074 has been collecting police contact data for the purpose of identifying and responding, if necessary, to concerns regarding racial profiling practices. It is my hope that the findings provided in this report will serve as evidence that the Eastland County Sheriff's Office continues to strive towards the goal of maintaining strong relations within the community. The data in this report is reflective only of deputy-initiated traffic stops where a citation was issued and/or a search was documented. The Eastland County Sheriff's Office is only required to report Tier 1 data because its patrol units are equipped with video and audio recording devices. And as you can look at it on the map, we didn't have that many citations or that many arrests because of traffic stops. Most of our arrests are because of warrants that we handle that way. If you don't have any questions about it, this is required by state law that I present to you once a year.
Any questions or comments? Okay. And we have a report then to accept the regular profiling report from the Sheriff's Office. Motion made, seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, and that carries. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. This has been submitted to the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, item number 6, will be quite similar. We've got the electrical profiling report submitted for the 91st District Criminal Interdiction Unit. And with us today, we have Russ Thompson, elected district attorney. Morning.
Good morning. And like the Sheriff's Office, we require to report the same kind of data. We have already reported it to Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, and we're submitting this report to the Commissioner's Court in accordance with the same laws. It's very similar to the Sheriff's Office.
Gentlemen, any questions or comments about the 91st District Attorney's report on electrical profiling? Okay, can we have a motion then to accept that report as presented?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, and that carries.
Thank you, John.
And if you would, we've got two more items here for you. Hang in there.
Yes, sir.
All right, item number 7 is office space. Discuss, consider use of courthouse basement 01 space, former office of election administration for office of judicial district attorney, criminal interdiction. And Russ, tell us what we've got going there.
Yes, sir. The building in which we've been in for the last 2.5 years, the owner is wanting to utilize the building for something else, and we have until February 15th to vacate the building. So we've looked at the space that was previously held by the elections administrator in the basement, and respectfully asking if we could move our stuff into that building from our current location.
Well, it's not going to be storage, it's going to actually be a working office.
We'll actually utilize it as an office and storage for evidence.
We've been using kind of as a storage area for some of the remodel that's going on the plumbing, but Donnie got down there and got all that taken out and cleaned it back up. As I understand, there's a plan to build a short partition wall in there or something, is that right?
Yeah, not a permanent wall, just a temporary wall.
And then some shelves or something in the storage area?
Yeah, we found some shelves that some other office holder had abandoned during the hallway, and we're going to utilize
Okay.
those shelves during the hallway.
All right. Gentlemen, any questions or comments about allowing the DA investigation unit to use that office space down in the basement? Can we have a motion then to allow that to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Second. Allow it to proceed?
Yes, sir.
We've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You opposed, same sign, and that carries.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
And you've got to be out of your other building by February 15th.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see, item number 8 is personnel policy. Discuss, consider changes to personnel policy regarding changes to state handgun laws. We talked about this at the last meeting, and we left it that Loretta and Russ were going to look at the changes that need to be made. Russ will make sure we comply with the law. And Russ, tell us what we've got here as far as changes to make sure we're in compliance.
We made some minor changes at the very top. I think the third sentence, the county does not tolerate or condone any threats of violence, direct or indirect, including jokes which involve violence or have a violent undertone. There were some minor changes there relating to the jokes. Then the major change is on down where it says possession of any firearm or weapon other than a firearm unauthorized under Texas law is prohibited in all Eastland County offices, buildings, and vehicles. We added under Texas law, and then we changed a little bit of the verbiage regarding Eastland County owned offices, buildings, and vehicles. And then all officials and employees shall strictly adhere to applicable handgun laws specifically, and we set out the penal codes which involve the open carry and concealed carry laws. And then added, if an employee suspects that an unlawfully carried weapon is on county premises, they shall immediately report this to their immediate supervisor. And it did say, or the sheriff's department, and we've changed that to their immediate supervisor and the sheriff's department. Then the next change, employees found in violation of this policy are subject to criminal penalties. That's a new, under Texas law, as well as disciplinary action up to and including termination. Previously, we just had disciplinary action, but under the law, they could be subject to criminal penalties, so we added that provision. I think that covers the major changes that we made to it.
And just for the court's information, Michelle Arsenault of TAC is in the process of reviewing our personnel policy, so I went ahead and sent this to her also, just to make sure from an HR standpoint we were covered, and she liked it.
I think the sheriff had an issue with having a lockbox in the office, which I think is a good idea. If an employee is gonna go into a prohibited area, they've got to put their weapon into a lockbox. Is that what I'm remembering, Sheriff?
Yes, sir, and I believe if the employee wants to bring a weapon into the courthouse, that they should furnish that lockbox, and it should be attached in some manner.
We probably should have a formal policy saying that kind of language to include.
And we'll add another section. What's that?
At the employee's expense. How those attach, just bolt down to a wooden shelf or something?
Yes, sir, it can be bolted to the wall, it can be bolted to a desk, cabinet.
Does a lock desk or filing cabinet not suffice?
It could, I would prefer it be a metal lockbox made for a weapon.
They have them like at Tractor Supply, or
Yes, sir.
some of them have a combination code, some of them have a thumbprint
Yes, sir.
code, where only that particular employee who has to go to access it.
If you had an older filing cabinet that you could lock up, you wouldn't know who had the keys to that thing.
Probably nobody.
Yeah, you'd have to, if it ever did get locked, you'd have to have a locksmith to unlock it. Okay, so, do we want to accept this as it is? Do we want to table it and come back with one more sentence in there addressing the lockbox? What's the?
I think Larissa that they just add another
We'll add another
section.
section.
Another section about lockbox, okay. Do you have any questions or comments about this change to 11.05 of Eastland County Employee Policy? And we have a motion then to adopt this and make these changes to 11.05. Motion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that carries. All right, good deal. Russ,
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you all.
Okay, item number 9 is commissary review. Assistant auditor presents report for the third quarter of jail commissary and inmate fund review, July 2015 to September 2015. Janice Henson joins us at the table. Hi, Ms. Henson.
Hello. Well, I have the third quarter jail commissary and inmate funds review, July 2015 through September 2015. Did my normal checking, and there were no, all checks had dual signatures. Checked in all reconciliations were done. Accounted for all voided checks. All handwritten checks were posted to the inmates' accounts, including the bank that I done a check on. The deposit slips were matched to the reports of deposits made. I found no discrepancies at all.
Good, clean
It
report.
was very good.
Okay. Gentlemen, any questions or comments about the jail commissary inmate fund review?
No.
Can we have a motion then to accept that report as presented? Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, Janice.
You're welcome.
Okay. Item number 10 is grant FEMA. County auditor to discuss status of payment from FEMA on several project worksheets for repairs to flood damaged roads and storm damage to county buildings.
And Judge, with your permission, I'm going to pass out the email from Roman Castillo that had all the projects
Okay.
listed, but it was originally to you, so wanted yours.
I'm trying to keep everybody in the loop in these. They kind of come in an avalanche all at once and then nothing happens. You get one? Get one? Probably. Just one more.
That's mine.
I wrote
Oh,
down,
there we go.
there's
Goofball here had it in mind. He can't count.
down at the bottom of the first page, each of the projects is listed, and I've written notes out to the right, the first project is PW, which is project worksheet 266. That is precinct 1, and it is paid. The second project is project worksheet 602. That is also precinct 1, and it is paid. Then project worksheet 375, that is also precinct 1, and it is paid. Project worksheet 435 is precinct 3, it is not paid. Project worksheet 246 is precinct 3, it is paid. Project worksheet 601 is precinct 3, it is paid. Project worksheet 225 is the county building's roof damage, and it is paid. Project worksheet 222 is precinct 2, it is not paid. Commissioner Rutledge has submitted some work though. And project worksheet 39 is precinct 4, and it is not paid.
Sure appreciate you keeping up with all those that the paid process for.
Yes, sir. And I am going to certify revenue in just a little bit, and just so y'all know, I really had to think this through and use prior experience. I'm going to certify it to a revenue line in grants fund, and I'm asking for permission to use a transfer to Road and Bridge and transfer to general fund in also the grants fund. When I transfer the money into Road and Bridge, I would like to set up a transfer from revenue line, transfer from grants fund, and then I'll put it in whichever precinct budget at that time. But I'll have to certify it again when the work is done and I move money from grants fund to Road and Bridge or general.
We'll get into that a little bit deeper as we go, but just looking at it here, the money is coming from the state comptroller's office, from the treasurer's office, deposited into this budget line item, which is FEMA grant, DRTX 4223, and then it goes back out to Eastland County Grants Fund budget line 025700020, transfer to Road and Bridge Fund in the amount of $168,743.26.
Yes, and then there's also one to general fund for $3,750.
There should still be some PWs out there though that have not been written or approved, because Andy should have some and Ronnie should have at least one.
There's more coming?
Yes.
Okay.
Just because that's not all Ronnie's roads and that's not all Andy's roads. Mine and Buzzy's are listed in one PW, but they broke theirs down, so not all of their PWs have come in yet. I don't know where they're at, but like Ronnie's, the ones that are coming in are his low water crossings. There's not been a PW on the actual road damage yet at all.
Yeah, the only ones we've gotten back in are low water crossings.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. So none of his actual road damage has come back in on a PW that's come across.
Well, that 601 and 602 are very recent, so they're working on them.
And yours, you still got several roads, because they were broken down in 2 and 3 roads at a time. So there's still probably at least one large PW coming in for you too.
Let me make sure I understand this, precinct 1 and precinct 4, they lumped it all together into one.
No, precinct 2.
Precinct 2 into one big project?
Right.
But then precinct 1 and 4, they use small projects. 1 and 3,
Yeah.
they use small projects. What do they do about yours?
Mine's one large project.
One big project.
Yeah.
So 2 and 4, one big project.
Yeah.
Each.
Yeah.
is one big project.
And it's broke down. Of course, back when they first done mine, I talked to Roman and they sent me my project worksheets with the breakdowns
Right.
of equipment, rock and everything by site. So I know exactly what goes. I just don't know my sites because they did GPS coordinates for the whole road instead of individual deals, and then say, well, we approve 60% of the whole deal. But they don't tell you what 60%. It's You know, like County Road 130's got 4 locations on it, and they did from the beginning of the one to the end of the last one as the GPS coordinates, and in that 4 miles of road, they approved 4 locations at 40% or 50% or 60%. They didn't GPS coordinates the individual locations.
So I'm correct in thinking that they paid the small projects that were submitted, but they haven't paid the large.
They haven't paid the large projects.
Okay. And large was defined at a little over 100,000.
Right, 121.
121,000.
And reading what they've sent everybody though, at $5,000 intervals, we can ask for restitution. It requires at least a $5,000 bill to bill it in.
Okay. We just stay on top of that.
Right.
Keep that coming in.
Right.
That's kind of what happened last time. Once we started getting reimbursed for it, it continued in a.
Yeah.
smooth-
I think the money, FEMA money is set aside at the state level already for the most part. It's now we built to the state level and they send us the money back. But you don't know about their 2 projects because they haven't been done.
Will y'all just stay in contact with Roman Castillo or the new guy, Bernardo Maltese?
So I talked to him Friday,
Okay.
and what he told me was completely different. So I told him, put it on email and send it to me. He said anything that I've spent over what they requested they were gonna pay would be reimbursed. I said, you need to send that to me on email.
Yeah, I've never seen them reimburse over what the project worksheet was.
That's what he was saying. I said,
Now, this is the new guy?
you need to send that on email.
And the way they've done it, you know, everybody's is different. And I don't have everybody's, but I got like mine, because it's broke down on the individual project worksheets to tell you the depth and everything of the material. But just like this, I submitted 3,168 feet. They approved 1,901 feet of that road, but they don't tell you what 1,901 feet
Which one it is?
that they approved, a 60% that they did. So I'm assuming they're leaving it up to us to put that 469 loads or yards where we want to in that 3,100 feet of road. But I don't know how you're going to audit that if you go out there and look at it when they're doing it.
When we did the auditing last time, we had to go exactly to the GPS point and then work the road out, and then you could pretty much tell when the rock stopped.
Right, well, but mine's not gonna be that way because the GPS part starts at the road and goes to the end of the road, and then that 60% of that road is what they approved. They don't say what 60%.
Have you tried getting that guy to tell you where the intermediate points are, where the actual
They don't know.
points need, they don't know? Well, they've got paperwork from when they did the ride-out with you to go look at everything.
Yeah, but they went back and used that paperwork to determine that only 60% of that road needed rock. They looked at the pictures, my understanding, they looked at the pictures, looked at the road, looked at GPS coordinates and said, we'll approve 60% of it. The people that come out here didn't do this. It was somewhere down the line past them that decided only 60% of this road needed rock.
Well, why don't you go to where your GPS starts and stops is where you're supposed to put the rock? But 60% of it right there.
Because they GPS the whole 100% of the road.
Yeah, but you didn't GPS the whole 100%.
Right.
So go to your point where you did it and put it there and.
No, that coordinates they're using is what I gave them.
Oh,
Of course,
okay.
they checked it.
Oh, okay.
Can you get permission to go and spot that in as needed within that GPS?
That's my understanding, that's what they said.
I'd get that, like Buzzy said, get in an email where we can do that, so then she and I can go back out and do the audit later that says, you know, this project has 4 different locations, and it's here, here,
Yeah,
here.
but your problem is nobody's gonna put that in an email because nobody knows.
It's different people now.
Yeah, it's different people.
Completely different. Friday talked to
Yeah.
him and told me Josh.
Well, on your deal, when we did the last FEMA deal back in 2007, I never saw them reimburse over what that what that project worksheet was. Do you
That's the way I
remember?
understood him.
There were 1 or 2 instances, but we had
Had
to
to go back
get,
and fight for it?
yes, we had to get the additional money. It wasn't just given to us. We had to request it and prove it. And in your case, probably what you and I are going to have to do is just, because they're gonna tell us the cubic yards.
Right.
I've looked at it, they're telling
Yeah.
us the cubic yards for that road. So we're just gonna have to verify the cubic yards are there, drive the road, and.
Well, and the thing is they did everything by cubic yard, but at Vulcan, it's by the ton. And the cubic yard breakdown from them is 1.25, so it's actually, if you dollar wise it, it's the same, because they give you the dollar amounts too, it's the same, but where it says 469 cubic yards, it's actually like 500 and something tons,
Because of 1.25.
because of the 1.25 multiplication rate of it coming out.
Another thing, that when they was with us and we spotted all this and GPS'd it all, well, my biggest problem come at the end of June, where I really had bore shafts that they never saw. And I mean, that's what we've been trying to, we had to fill it with shot rock. But there's nothing that said that on their report, put shot rock, because this was after they were here.
They're not gonna pay for that, though.
Well, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
I'm not asking them to pay for it, but I've gotta do something because I can't fix it. That's how I feel
You're gonna
back
put
then.
that shot rock down and then put base
Base
on top of that. They'll pay for that base on the top, because it puts it back into a pre-flood condition.
Right,
They always
right.
tell us to do.
Right.
Well, it may not
For-
be in that GPS area, because it was after.
Well, if it's a new spot, then it's outside this, it's not gonna be.
That's what I'm talking about. If they pay for it, great. If they don't, great. But I've got to fix it. So, well, people can get over it anyhow.
Yeah, but we've all got those spots.
So they pretty well have paid for the small project, but the large project, we're still waiting on.
Well, I think, like Buzzy and I are sitting there, we can start asking for reimbursement, because the projects have been approved, the money's there available. We just don't know, basically, on them what the turnaround is gonna
They
be.
told you to start doing it at $5,000 increments?
Right, it's in their paperwork. It says it has to have a $5,000 on that, restitution deal. That paperwork they actually sent Buzzy and y'all to ask for restitution, says it requires a $5,000 minimum expenditure.
So have we already, in your precinct, started spending more than 5,000?
No,
on
we
that?
haven't spent nothing.
You haven't, have you?
You turned in $72,000, haven't you? Isn't that, I don't have that paper.
That was temporary.
Yeah, but that counts against your, that doesn't make
And I
any
haven't seen
difference.
anything back out of it.
Have you submitted it? Okay. So we're just waiting on his to come back.
And it's been quite a while since you submitted it.
Probably a good idea to talk to Roman about why we haven't got reimbursed for those dollar amounts.
I'll call it today.
Make it to
Last year.
But these are the only projects that have been paid for, so the amount that we have in here is all we've received back so far.
Yes, sir, as of
168, is that what it is?
as of last week,
Okay.
what was received.
Well, I think it's there, we just gotta start asking for it. It's, for my project is anyway, and Buzzy's is, but I don't know about y'all's two big projects, and I don't know why they're so late coming, why they haven't had anything on.
Y'all just stay in contact with those guys at the state level, Roman and Bernardo now.
I asked him to send me some emails Friday, but they wasn't there this morning, but when they get there today. Anyway, it's trying to help me.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Anybody? Get a question? Okay. You look like you have a question.
Sorry.
All right, moving on to number 11. We got the bids for road material, discuss, consider requesting bids from suppliers for county purchase of road materials.
It is time to go out to road material bids again, and I'm just wanting to know, well, for one thing, I need permission to go out for bid, and if the court wants to bid it like we did last time, just use the same bids. Last time y'all accepted all bids and just chose who you were gonna use based on the job.
Sounds good, works for me.
There's nobody up on.
I got to get big sheet and send it to Bill.
Okay, you'll just give us all the addresses of people you want us to send them to. Okay.
I make a motion for Larry.
Motion made, seconded, to go out to bids for suppliers, county road materials. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. And it carries. Carries. Number 12 is 911 update, Department dispatch update. I don't believe I have anything on 911 or dispatch. Sheriff, anything from your perspective?
No, sir.
Okay, and Sherry's gone this morning, so we don't have anything on 911 addressing. Anybody else have any issues for dispatch or 911? Okay. Item 13 is the update on the county burn ban. Of course, the burn ban is off. Anybody want to make a comments or a motion about putting on burn ban? Okay, burn ban stays off. 14 is personnel matters. Ms. Keith.
I do have a report for the period January 7th through January 21st. No new hires, one termination, full-time investigator for the district attorney criminal interdiction.
Any other officials have any personnel reports to make? Okay, we'll have a motion then to accept this personnel report as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor, say aye. And that carries. Item 15 is budgetary and appropriate matters. 15A is certification of additional revenue. And Ms. Key, we talked a bit about it. Give us the details.
Okay, the first one is $168,743.26. And on both of these, it's saying it's going to the Eastland County Road and Bridge budget line, but it is not. It went to the grants fund. Budget line, and it is FEMA grant DRTX 4223 revenue. The expenditure line, it's going to the grants fund, transfer to road and bridge fund in the same amount, the first one. And then the second one is $3,750. It also went to the grants fund budget. And went to the same revenue line. The expenditure line is grants fund transfer to general fund in the same amount. I do need permission to use these revenue lines and these expenditure lines because they were not budgeted in our original budget.
The part that went back to the building, that was 75% of our insurance deductible.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm going to run these. Okay, that's okay. Stay forward.
Any questions or comments about the additional revenue? We have a motion then to certify the additional revenue and allow the receipt of and expenditure of that revenue according to what Ms. Key has just told us.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign.
Permission to use those lines. Oh, they did, okay. I missed that.
Won't you pass? Okay. Well, she's just watching, and it takes a village here, so. 15B is emergency amendments.
No emergency amendments.
Emergency amendments, 15C, line item adjustments.
Yes, there are line item adjustments. It's one page. And you'll notice over to the right that at the bottom, there's certification of additional revenue from last Commissioners Court. Most of these are just adjustments within budgets. Toward the middle of the page, line item 2016-010-695-490 contingency. 6,000 was moved for computer software. That was into general fund. We discussed that in last Commissioners Court. That's the $6,000 that was moved.
Any questions or comments about the line item adjustments? Can we have a motion then to make the line item adjustments as presented? Motion made, seconded, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign, and that carries. And Ms. Dr. Jones at the table. Okay, no, still circulating there. Okay, next up is 15B, Auditor Treasurer's Report. And we have two reports. One is for the month of December 2015, and one is a report for the period ending January 21st, 2016. Ms. Keith?
This is our regular meeting report. No, I'm sorry, this is the December report. These are the reconciled balances as of the end of December. What I'm giving you is general ledger balances. The only one that I'm waiting on information on is the district clerk registry account. She has been out of the office, so I just need information on that one account. At the end of December, general fund had $1,650,897.26 in checking, $62,541.77 in tax pool, $1,097,350 in CDs First Financial Bank, $250,000 CDs Texas Bank, $500,000 CDs Cetera, $250,000 in CDs Schertz Bank, for a total $3,810,789.03. Road and Bridge had $426,070.24 in checking. And the other funds are listed. Total general ledger balance as of December 31st. On the third page, bottom right, $8,620,595.50. The next report is the combined statement of revenue and expense for December as the December month to date and then year to date by fund. Then the combined statement of cash receipts and disbursements showing the beginning December cash balance by fund, cash receipts, cash disbursements, and the ending cash balance. Next is the management report from First Financial Bank showing the pledged market values of securities for our funds on deposit. Second page, bottom right, total pledged. This is the pledged market value, $11,691,316.85, which is sufficient to cover our funds on deposit. After that, it is the interest statement. We're looking at the current year column, and it's showing the interest as of December 31st by fund. Total interest, first quarter of the year, $3,950,068. $3,950.68. I wish it was $3 million.
We have found it.
Yes. Then the schedule of payments As of December 31st, again, all the payments for this year have been made. This is just the schedule as what was shown on the schedules presented by the financial institutions.
Well, I think we get that, we can understand it, well, I can understand it, we still show a plus when it's paid for, right?
Yes, sir. This is the scheduled payment this fiscal year. Next year, in September or October, it will show 0. But right now, it's the schedule that's all I have to go by, is the schedule that was presented by the financial institution. So you're just gonna have to know that there is 0.
Right there on, y'all talking about where the, on Buzzy stuff?
Yes, both of his are now paid off.
0. Is there any more that's paid off?
No, sir.
Any questions or comments? We have a motion in to approve that report. We'll get your part, we'll do your part same time.
Usually do. You see the spreadsheet of the month ending bank account totals for December 2015. As of December 31st, 2015, the total amount of cash and other assets in the custody of my office was $6,374,794.25.
Any questions or comments, gentlemen? Okay, and we have a motion then to accept the report, including the treasurer's report and also to authorize the signature on the affidavit as prepared by the county treasurer.
Second. Okay.
Made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign, and that carries.
Wake up call.
Well, that's all I heard.
Same.
Somebody finish? All right, thanks, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Next up is the report of financial condition for the period ending January 21st, 2016.
Yes, sir. This is the regular meeting report. And I'll just basically go over the first report, combined statement of cash position for January. General fund checking as of last Friday, $1,893,384.96. Road and bridge checking, $420,206.42. The other funds, no change. Total general ledger balance as of the 22nd, $8,806,004.99. Then the combined statement of revenue and expense for January, again through the 22nd, and the combined statement of cash receipts and disbursements also through January 22nd.
Any questions or comments on the report that ends January 21st? We have a motion then to accept the report as presented.
Second.
Heard. I think I got 3 seconds. Motion made, seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, and that carries. Okay, 15E, pardon me, is the investment report. Excuse me.
This is the investment report as of December 31st. We did go over this report last Commissioners Court. There have not been any changes.
No changes. Any questions or comments on the investment report? In December? We have a motion then to accept the report as presented. Motion.
I'll second.
Motion made, seconded. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Carries. Okay, 15F is financial report. Bills. This new system.
We'll get there.
I'm not so sure. Anyway, 15F should be the financial reports. And I've got the tax assessor collector report, district court, clerk, registry report, jail report.
Sir.
Is that all that you have?
Yes, sir.
Is there any questions or comments about any of those reports? We have a motion then to accept those reports as presented. Second. Motion made, seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And that carries. Now 16 says claims account, but it's going to be after the bills claims account. See what all we have in there.
We have several reports. The first one is January 15th payroll. Then January 19th vouchers payable. This was a health reimbursement account reimbursement. January 21st payable was also a health reimbursement account reimbursement. January 24th vouchers payable. That's a payable to McCrew, Pacelka, Bragg, and Allen. Then January 25th vouchers payable. That's payables for today. January 26th, vouchers payable, that's FEMA. And January 27th, vouchers payable is the CTERS, and both of those will be paid today also.
Anything else to add for today?
No, sir.
Then do you need a motion, on here to look at that, make sure you have any questions? Anybody want to make a motion that we approve and pay the bill claims accounts as presented? Motion. Motion made, seconded, any further discussion? Motion second to approve, pay the bills claims accounts, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, and that carries. all the agenda items. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
Motion made, seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?